Love This Way show is brought to you by The Club. The Club is a safe space I curated just for you. There's tips, challenges, downloads, ebooks, journals, coloring books. Just all you need to help you to succeed in your relationship endeavors. The best part? Each tier comes with free coaching sessions with me. So if you've been wanting to book a session with me but couldn't quite afford it yet, join a club and save hundreds. The coaching sessions alone are reason enough to join. With tiers starting at only $37 a month, you don't want to miss this opportunity. Visit shaliavinny.com, choose the membership level of your choice, and go to your calendar and book your free session. I can't wait to connect more with you. And make sure you mention Love This Way sent you. Welcome to the Love This Way podcast, the show that exists to help men and women everywhere to be better at love. Never any gender wars, back and forth, or nonsense. Just great tips to help you find and sustain the love of your dreams. Because love is a journey, but you need direction. So get ready, because each episode we're going to be talking about our real life issues, answering tough questions, and building solid relationships with one another as we heal, learn, and grow. I'm your host, your girl, Dr. Shalia Vinny, and on today's show, we're going to talk about what to do when your partner is stuck on their ex. Can we talk about it? Today, I want to tackle one of the most frustrating and emotionally draining situations in a relationship, when you're with someone who just can't seem to let go of their ex. It's a feeling that cuts real deep, and I know it does. You're giving your all, but somehow their heart seems stuck in the past. And maybe you've noticed subtle signs, or maybe it's more obvious. But either way, it can make you feel like you're competing with a ghost, someone who isn't even physically there, but still holds a part of your partner's heart. Here's the truth. No one deserves to play second fiddle to the past. Love should be rooted in the present, with two people focused on building something together right now. But if their heart and mind are still with someone else, it's impossible to move forward. So today, we're going to talk about how to spot the signs, what you can do about it, and how to have the tough conversations that might just save your relationship or help you realize when it's time to walk away. It's not always as easy as, telling your partner how you feel, or even to have this thought that your partner is still emotionally tied to their ex. But there are subtle and sometimes not so subtle indicators that they haven't fully moved on. These signs can often make you feel insecure, anxious, or unsure of where you stand in the relationship. So if you're feeling like something isn't right, here are some common red flags you should look out for. They frequently bring up their ex, whether it's in casual conversation or when comparing you to them. If your partner constantly mentions their ex, it's a sign that they're still mentally and emotionally invested in that relationship. They keep memorabilia from their ex. They might have old photos, gifts, keepsakes. Sometimes it's like sentimental stuff. Sometimes it's little things, but they still see it as sentimental. But if they're overly attached to these items, or they treat them like they're sacred, it could indicate that they're not ready to let go. They're still in close contact. Occasional communication with an ex might not be a deal breaker, but if they're constantly texting, calling, spending time with their ex, it's a sign that the emotional bond has not been fully severed. They get defensive or emotional when you bring it up. If you try to address the topic and they get overly defensive, dismissive, or emotional, it could be a sign that they're still holding on to unresolved feelings. Or what if they seem distracted or distant? If your partner is emotionally unavailable, or they often seem distracted, they might be preoccupied with thoughts of their ex. This can create a wedge between you and make it difficult to connect. So if any of these signs resonate with you, it's important to acknowledge that something is off. But recognizing the signs is just the beginning. You need to figure out what to do next. Now, once you've recognized that your partner may be still emotionally tied to their ex, it's essential to explore why they haven't let go. This understanding is going to give you valuable context and help you approach the situation with empathy while still protecting your own emotional well-being, because people hold on to the past for various reasons. So knowing their why can guide you in determining whether the relationship can move forward. So let's dig into some of the most common reasons people remain attached to their ex. Number one, unresolved feelings. What this is going to look like is that your partner may still be carrying emotional baggage from their previous relationship, whether it's lingering love, anger, guilt, or regret. These unresolved feelings can create emotional confusion, making it very difficult for them to fully invest in your relationship. It's not uncommon for someone to believe they've moved on, only to realize that they still have emotional attachments that they haven't processed. Unresolved feelings can create an emotional block between you and your partner, preventing real intimacy and trust from developing. So if your partner hasn't let go of these emotions, they're likely to be emotionally unavailable to you, no matter how much they care. Number two, nostalgia and idealization. What this looks like is people often remember the good times with an ex while conveniently forgetting the reasons that the relationship didn't work out in the first place. If your partner frequently reminisces about their ex or seems to idolize them, they might be holding on to a fantasy version of the past. When someone is stuck in an idealized version of a past relationship, it can create unrealistic comparisons between you and their ex. This will make you feel like you're competing with a version of their ex that they didn't even know really existed. It also prevents your partner from fully appreciating the present relationship. Like, how am I competing with somebody that wasn't even real? Now you're over here making up that they were this great person when you're forgetting that if they were that great, you would still be with them. No, no, no. Number three, fear of being hurt again. After a painful breakup, your partner might still be holding on to their ex as a form of emotional protection. They might feel like opening up to you could lead to some kind of heartbreak or the same kind of heartbreak that they just experienced in the previous relationship. So this fear will often manifest as emotional guardedness or reluctance to commit fully. Emotional walls can keep you at a distance, making it very difficult for you to feel fully connected. So if your partner is afraid of being hurt again, they might sabotage the relationship by not letting themselves get too close. Number four, lack of closure. What this looks like is sometimes people end without proper closure, whether it was an abrupt breakup or there was unresolved issues left hanging. If your partner didn't get closure, they might still be emotionally stuck, replaying what happened and wondering what could have been. This can keep them emotionally tethered to their ex, even if they don't realize it. Without closure, your partner might struggle with what ifs or unresolved feelings of hurt, anger, or confusion. This emotional uncertainty can prevent them from fully committing to a new relationship because part of them is still searching for answers. Number five, codependency or emotional crutch. What this looks like is in some cases, people remain attached to an ex because they've grown emotionally dependent on them. The ex might still provide emotional support, or your partner may see them as a safety net in times of emotional need. This ongoing connection can make it difficult for your partner to fully invest in your new relationship. Codependency creates a divided emotional space where your partner is still relying on someone from their past instead of building emotional resilience and independence. This dynamic is going to leave little or no room for your relationship to thrive. Hey friend, make sure you check out shaliavinny.com. You can join a club there. You can book one-on-one coaching sessions with me. You can buy my books there. Oh, and you can get free advice from me now. Go to shaliavinny.com, click the free advice tab, and go ahead and submit your question. I will be answering those questions on my social medias, so make sure you do that because you don't want to miss out. Love you guys. So we've been discussing recognizing when your partner is not over their ex, but now I want to teach you how to handle it. Now that you're aware of the signs and understand why your partner might be struggling to let go, it's time to face the situation head on. Addressing this issue is essential not only for your relationship, but for your own emotional well-being. So here's how to approach the conversation and deal with their response. Number one, you've got to approach with compassion, not accusation. Start the conversation from a place of concern, not accusation. Use I statements to express how you feel rather than blaming them. For example, you're going to say, I feel there's still a part of you that's holding on to the past and it's making me feel insecure in our relationship, rather than you're still in love with your ex and it's ruining us. See how there's a difference there? This approach is going to reduce defensiveness, which will open the door to an honest dialogue. It shows that you're coming from a place of care and want to work through the issue together instead of attacking them. When a person is not on the defense, they're more likely to communicate and to be honest with you. Number two, you need to ask direct questions. Don't be afraid to ask direct questions about their feelings toward their ex. Ask questions like, do you still have unresolved feelings for them? Or what do you think is preventing you from fully moving on? Also, you should gently point out when they're idealizing their past. You might say, It sounds like you really cherish those memories, but I wonder if you're also remembering why things didn't work out between you guys. Encourage them to balance the good memories with the reality of why the relationship ended. Helping them see the full picture can bring them back to the present and help them to stop comparing. This gives them the chance to acknowledge their emotions and also reflect on their behavior. Sometimes people are not fully aware of their attachment until it's brought to the light. So direct questions and statements like this can encourage self-reflection and lead to them giving you more honest answers. Number 3, you're going to set clear boundaries and expectations. Once this conversation is underway, it's important that you set boundaries. So you got to let your partner know what behaviors make you uncomfortable, whether it's frequent communication with their ex or keeping the memorabilia. Be clear about your needs moving forward. Boundaries establish clear lines of what's acceptable and what is not. It also shows that while you're understanding of their emotional process, you're not going to tolerate disrespect or emotional neglect. Listen to their response and judge their actions, not their words. Number 4, if your partner promises to change, it's important to take their response seriously, but also observe their actions moving forward. Change doesn't happen overnight, but you should see consistent efforts to create distance from the past and invest more in the present relationship. Actions will always speak louder than words. So if they say they're going to change but continue engaging in the same behaviors, it's a sign that they're not really ready to move on. You've got to pay close attention to whether they follow through on the promises that they've made. Now, if your partner says that they're going to make a change, it's important to give them space and time to prove it, but also to protect yourself emotionally. So you need to set a time frame for reassessment. You need to give them an ultimatum, but it's healthy to set a mental timeline for yourself, because if you're not seeing real progress after a few weeks or months, it may be time to reevaluate the relationship. Do not ignore red flags. If they continue to show signs of emotional attachment to their ex, it's a clear indicator that they're not ready to fully commit to you. Trust your gut and don't allow yourself to stay in a situation where your needs aren't being met. Prioritize your own well-being. If their behavior continues to make you feel insecure, anxious, or emotionally drained, it might be time to consider whether this relationship is healthy for you. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself is to walk away from someone who can't give you the emotional security that you deserve. Now, as we wrap up today's episode, I want you to remember that navigating a relationship with your partner is still tethered to their past is no easy feat by a long shot, but you owe it to yourself to recognize the value of your time and emotional energy, because you deserve to be with someone who is fully present, not someone who's split between you and their past memories. Love is about mutual investment, and if their heart is stuck in the past, it's impossible to build a future together. It's important to know that your worth is not measured by someone else's ability to move on. It's measured by how you choose to respond when they can't. Standing up for yourself isn't just about demanding a change, it's about acknowledging when you deserve more. So don't be afraid to set boundaries, ask for what you need, and walk away if those needs aren't met. Sometimes the hardest and most bravest thing you can do is to recognize when it's time to let go and make room for the kind of love that's focused entirely on the present, not held back by lingering attachments to the past. Until next time, I want you to take care of yourself, honor your growth, and keep your heart open to finding the love that you deserve. If you need more help, you can always go to shaliavinny.com and book a one-on-one session with me. I love you, and I'm rooting for you always. Today's show is brought to you by The Club. Please rate the show on your favorite streaming platform and share it with one person who you think needs to hear it, and ask them to do the same. Remember to never stop showing up for yourself and the love you desire to have. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best. Until next time, your friend and relationship strategist, Dr. Shalia. Bye.